Better soil equals better health. That's a message from one North Carolina farmer who's taking an initiative to transform her land and her produce. The practice of regenerative farming can lead to healthier food and a better bottom line. CBN's Brody Carter shows us how.
The Earth's soil. It's not glamorous, but biblically it's where you and I come from, and also our food, both plant and animal. One farmer here in Newton Grove, North Carolina, is making it her priority to study soil health because when it comes to feeding her family, it favors them too.
We can change our health and our communities just by focusing on soil health. You can smell the difference.
Lisa Williams and her son Lance have transformed their 55-acre farm through regenerative farming. Lisa's focus is to regenerate the soil and ecosystems while avoiding conventional pesticides, herbicides, and fertilizers. It's taken roughly 4 years to cultivate the land, raising the healthiest cows and chickens to feed her family.
If you have healthy soil, you have healthy grasses. If you have healthy grasses, you have healthy livestock. In our case, it's Hereford cattle.
They fertilize the fields the old-fashioned way, with cow patties.
They have no antibiotics, they're drug-free. We don't spray anything on them. So we can put just about any label we want on these cows.
The family also had a personal reason for choosing this route.
I wanted my family to be healthy, and my husband had a medical condition, and there weren't any answers, and he wasn't getting better.
Larry Williams suffers from an autoimmune disease with no known cure that attacks his muscles. The Williams believed clean eating might help and started the hard work of raising healthy cows.
One, you don't want to lose a spouse, but I really, really believe what I'm doing. I believe it's good for America.
Studies have shown that food grown using regenerative farming practices tends to be more nutritious compared to conventionally farmed food. The healthier the soil, the healthier your food. When it comes to feeding America, farmers and ranchers make up less than 2% of the population. And out of the roughly 2 million farms dotting America's landscape, less than 2% of that land uses regenerative practices. So how is the soil health in America? Dr. Ekrem Ozlu with NC State University says it really depends on where you look.
So the variability in the soil type and climate is huge in North Carolina, sort of from the mountains to coastal plain. Everything can change region by region.
Dr. Ozlu works with farmers in North Carolina to help their fields cultivate healthy soil that can better withstand drought and flooding.
Because soil health or soil in general is like a retirement package. As much as you put there, later you get the benefit.
You know, we have a human health crisis going on, whether we want to admit it or not. And it's related directly, a lot of it, to the food we eat.
North Dakota rancher Gabe Brown is known as a founding father of regenerative farming. An author and consultant, Brown teaches farmers worldwide how to regenerate their dirt and make more money doing it.
I'm literally 10 times more profitable per acre now than I was back then.
Gabe's success and recognition have caught Washington's attention, leading to an invitation to testify before Congress about regenerative farming. Brown tells CBN News that science finds healthy soils produce food with more than 60% higher vitamins, fatty acids, and nutrients.
You've eaten a tomato out of a garden. You know how good that is, and I'm assuming you like tomatoes. Well, then go buy one and look what you get in a restaurant or a store. Look, that isn't even the same thing.
There can be challenges, however, when switching to regenerative practices. For example, it can take up to 5 years to see a return on the investment in terms of the soil's health or profit.
But once they realize what we are proposing here is actually not a new thing, we are just regenerating what we used to do in a way which could be an alternative to today's agricultural practices and still providing them the same benefits, but also making them more sustainable.
For Lisa and others, this is more than just better soil. This method can improve people's health, communities, and economic impact.
It's a cycle. For every one farmer it creates, every one job in production agriculture creates 3 to 4 off-the-farm jobs.
Given that America imports roughly 15% of our food, Lisa sees this as a national security component.
We can't constantly rely on other countries to feed us.
Today, Lisa is also spreading the wealth by teaching others what she's learned. As a board member on the North Carolina Soil Health Coalition, she's using a $75,000 grant to educate state farmers about soil health.
God created everything. He created the insects, he created the plants. He worked for 6 days, and on the seventh day, he rested. And that's what they're asking you to do in regenerative agriculture. I just want to be good stewards of what God's given me.
Reporting in North Carolina, Brody Carter, CBN News.
Well, the Bible echoes this. The regenerative concepts that you see coming up now in our farming was all written thousands of years ago. And the whole concept of giving the land a rest every 7 years. Crop rotation, all of these things, you go back to the Bible, they're very key insights on how to make a desert bloom. And so just imagine what it can do to your average family farm. So I applaud this. This is absolutely wonderful. I encourage everyone. I got into this just last year of, raising some homegrown tomatoes. There's nothing like it. It's absolutely incredible. So buy a tomato plant today.
Yes.
Put it in a 5-gallon
It works.
bucket, and you'll appreciate it later.
It works.